Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. Today we are back in Crabada. You guys seem to really be liking these videos. So we're gonna go over a couple things today. And today I just want to show you 3 useful tips within the Crabada game that really helped me out that I just want to share with all of you guys. So we'll get right into it. And again, let me know in the comments below if you like these videos. Just let me know and I'll keep doing them. And if you can subscribe, and let's get into it. So tip number 1 is how to add more teams quickly and easily to your Crabada account. So usually you when you get into the game, you go to manage teams, and I just don't have any crabs on this account, but when you do go to manage teams, the game caps you at 3 teams to begin with. Now, when you get more teams, you can see here, you would go to manage teams, it would say usually team 0 out of 3 or 3 max. And traditionally, how you get more teams is that you want to stake your CRA token. Just go to staking, hit it, stake CRA. And how CRA staking works is for however many CRA you stake, so 50 CRA stake will earn you 1 amulet per week. Now, the key is that you can only hold so many amulets. So the number of CRA you stake divided by 50 and then times 4 is the max amount of CRA you can hold, and the cost to up your team is 250 cram or Crabada amulets. So you are going to have to stake about, I think it's maybe 3,200 around there, I want to say, CRA tokens, and then you're still waiting for it to come in over time. Now the easy way, and what I did, is I staked the amount of CRA needed to up my max amulet count to 250. And then what I did was, if you go to Trader Joe, you can put cram in here and you can put in 250, and you can actually buy, as long as your amulet cap is 250, you can actually buy the cram token on Trader Joe. Just put 250, buy cram, and then once you buy cram, you go to add team and then put your cram in here. You'd put your 250, spend, you would up your team to 4, and then you can keep doing that as much as you want. And then that way you can up your team limit to however many you want quickly without having to wait, the several weeks or months that it would take to get to 250 naturally. And then whenever you have that done, you can do it all within 5 minutes. And then unstake your CRA if you want to have access to sell it whenever you want, or if you want to just use your CRA money to buy more crabs, you can unstake it because there is a 21-day unlocking period. So that is tip number 1, how to add Crabada teams to your account within 5 minutes, as long as you have your CRA staked and up your limit to 250. Buy cram or Crabada amulet on Trader Joe. Spend it to up your limit as many times as you want. Keep buying the 250, and then unstake your CRA and move on. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is we're actually going to be going over the Miner's Revenge for the mining expedition. Whenever you do the idle game part, when you send your crabs out to mine, there is something called Miner's Revenge. So whenever you send your crabs out to mine, you have the chance to get raided and get looted upon on your mining expeditions. Now there is this thing called Miner's Revenge, which if you go to their white paper here, Mining Revenge is the mechanic that allows mining parties to have a lucky chance at victory even when they pretty much lose in battle. So what that means is that as long as your team has, well, the higher the mine points are, the MP points are of your Crabada team, the higher chance of your Mining Revenge activating. Now, you can see most of these guys with their finished mining teams. You can see some of their Mining Revenge. The max that the Mining Revenge is capped at is 40, so you can go up to 40% chance, which is still really good odds. You have a 40% chance of winning a completed mining expedition. Even if you lose, you could still win at the end when you claim it. Now, there is one condition of that, is that you have to reinforce twice. You have to do that. Now, even though if you have a really high mining point team and your Miner's Revenge is high from the beginning, it will not activate unless you reinforce your team twice. As long as it's being looted twice in your mining expedition, you have to reinforce both times. And then even if you lose, you could still have a 40% chance of winning when your mining expedition is done. So that's tip number 2, is mining revenge and how that operates. Now tip number 3 is going to go into a little bit of the faction update with Crabada that happened a while ago, and kind of what teams to be aware of, what crabs to be aware of. I know we did a video on how to get started with the right crabs, but this is just a little bit more in depth of this part of it. So as far as mining goes, these are the different teams that you can have. Now, if you look at the crab population, you can see that right now primes are leading the way. It used to be bulks, but now primes are leading in bulks with craboids. Now, what I've been doing is actually I have swapped over to a team of, I do 1 prime and 2 craboids of the machine class. Now, why I do that is because if you look here, the 2 classes that have an advantage over the machine class is Trench and Abyss. And if you look at that is Sunken and Ruin, if you look at their population stats, there's not a lot of them out there, meaning that there's less of a chance, less looting teams out there to raid effectively against your Craboid team versus if you had a prime team. You can see there's, Machine and Trench, and with Machine or Craboid right behind prime, there's still a good amount. So that's what I've been doing is if you run a Machine or Craboid team, you run into a less chance of getting looted just because there's not that many of the teams out there that have an advantage. And what I mean when I say advantage is that within your Crabada team, mining team, the faction that that team becomes is based on the majority of crabs. So if you have 1 prime and 2 craboids, it'll become a craboid team or a machine team. Or if you have 2 primes and 1 craboid, it'll become a prime team. Or if you have one of each class, like 3 different random ones, there'll be no faction under it, and that's bad. You actually get a debuff to that. So, and if we look here, what that means is that let's say you have a machine class and Abyss attacks your machine class, that will actually, when they attack you, your team, as long as it's being looted by a team that has an advantage against you, will make it so your team has -7% battle points. Now it's vice versa too. So if you have a machine class and you're looting, let's say a prime class, you will actually have an advantage on that class. And if you have no faction, you will have a -3 battle points towards your team, no matter who loots you, no matter who. And you can see here the different classes, and you can just see, and this is all in their white paper if you guys want to come in here and take a look at it. But anyways, that's just 3 things to note. How to add teams to your Crabada account quickly, easily, and the Miner's Revenge, just a quick little overview of that, and how to make sure you're getting it every time. Again, reinforced twice. In the factional update, just keep note of what team you want, and the meta changes all the time. Keep a lookout on Crabada tracker of the population, what teams are leading. So again, I'm doing Craboids right now just because the Sunken and Ruin teams out there are not a lot just because they have very low population relatively to Craboid, Bulk, and Prime. So yeah, guys, that's just 3 tips on Crabada that I feel helps me out a lot, and I felt maybe it'd help you guys out. So let me know in the comments below if any of this helped you, or if you guys have any tips of your own for Crabada. I'm always open. Or what else you want me to cover on the game, or if you have any questions. And otherwise, if you can like the video, comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Alright, see you guys.